What's up, guys? So I'm going to go over 10 quick things that can help you prepare for basic training, what you need to know, and will set you up for success and make your life a little bit easier at basic training. So number one, jumping right into it, is the minimum's not going to cut it. For anything in basic training, people will specifically refer to the PT test. At basic training, you only have to pass with a 50 in all events. So I don't know, you can look and see. That was weird. You can look and see online what your minimum is, but you shouldn't shoot for the minimum. You should be asking what the maximum is, because in basic training, the minimum is 50-50. 50. But if you when you get to AIT, it shoots up to 60, 60, 60, a 60 in all events. So the minimum might get you to slide by in basic training, but it is not something to shoot for. Number two is pay your bills. Just because you're in basic training, life doesn't stop. Bills don't stop, and you will get yanked right out of your training company if you start falling behind on your mortgages or whatever your bills are, your phone bill, or you just won't have those things when you come out of basic training, and that will suck. So pay your bills. Just because you're away doesn't mean the world ends. Number three, study ahead of time. So if you study ahead of time, that's going to be less stress on you, less things you got to worry about. And that's just more time that you can, chill, not have to worry about, oh man, what is, this, and this. Study ahead of time, set yourself up to be successful at basic training, and it'll be a little bit easier for you. Number four, show up in shape. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be maxing a PT test, but right off the bat, as soon as you get to basic training, reception is going to test you physically. Standing up for, a full 24 hours maybe, that's a different kind of shape than PT shape. Yeah, you need to be in PT shape, but standing for that long is tough. It was tough for me. My ankles got swollen, my back hurt, but it's one of those things that's more mental than it is physical, but it's definitely physical, and it sucks. It really sucks. So get up, get walking around, get used to being on your feet. Now, showing up PT wise in good shape is a great thing too, because that's one less stress you have to worry about, is failing your PT test or whatever, and it allows PT to be a stress reliever and not a stressor on you at basic training. Number five is what's your why? You need to have a reason why you're at basic training, something that when it really sucks, you can dig down deep in your heart and say, I've got to push through. I can't quit, I can't do whatever because of this. Maybe it's your family, maybe wife, kids, parents, or maybe it's you. It's a personal dream of yours that you've always wanted to be in the U.S. Army, and you're not going to let anything get in your way. But when things really suck, it's going to test you mentally, and you've got to be willing to push through. So number six is get your sleep schedule on track before you get there. Now, it's kind of misleading, because you're going to stay up for like 24, 36 hours when you first get to reception anyway. So in a way, it kind of doesn't make any sense, but you don't want to leave for basic training on a poor night's sleep, because it could be 2 full days before you get to sleep again. And then if you do get to sleep, it's for like 20 minutes. So get your sleep schedule on track now, and that way you can be rested up when you do go to basic training. Number seven is learn some fundamentals of the military, of the Army. That, once again, is one of those things that can go ahead and set you up for success and be less stressful on you, and it'll help you fly under the radar a little bit from the drill sergeants, because if you look squared away, whether you are or not, that's less attention that the drill sergeants will pay for you. So a few fundamentals that I would say learn is the phonetic alphabet, because that's one thing in the military. Even at reception, before you know anything, people will be like, what's this number, or the drill sergeants will be running off, not number, but what's this mean, and they'll be like Romeo, Alpha, Juliet, Bravo, Kilo, Papa, November, but if you're not prepared for that, and you don't know what they're talking about, you may miss some information on some important documents or something like that, and that's just one thing to keep you ahead of the game. Military time, Soldier's Creed. The Soldier's Creed is a big one. If you know it, you will be way ahead of the game. The Warrior Ethos, that is located inside the Soldier's Creed. And, the rank, military rank, that'll definitely help you, be ahead of the game. Oh, also, just get used to the habit now of calling Drill sergeants, not sir or ma'am or sergeant or, you know, hey dude. Call them drill sergeant, and that's one less way you're going to get yelled at. And then, you know, maybe some facing movement, some right face, some left face, about face, column right, march, you know, just little things to help you be squared away, and that way you look like you know what you're talking about. And if you're put in those situations, you won't get yelled at. So what are we at? We are on number 8. Brief your family on your lack of time that you're going to have to speak to them, your communication lack thereof, because that will be a big shock to them, even if they know it's coming. But it would be terrible for them to, you know, expect to get to talk to you and you don't call them for 10 weeks or, you know, a few weeks, and they don't hear from you. That's a big stressor on them. You want everything squared away before you get to basic training, especially your family. And that brings me on to my next point: square your family away. This is number 9. Square your family away, your personal, you know, financial responsibilities away, personal lives. Square all that away. That way when you go to basic training, you're at complete ease, that everything is taken care of, and when you you know, leave, you don't have to worry about anything. You can just focus on getting in there, graduating, and leaving. Number 10, it's going to suck. Just get used to it. Get that in your mind. This is going to suck, but it's also going to be the easiest thing you've ever done, the hardest thing you've ever done, the most rewarding thing you've ever done, the funnest thing you've ever done, the worst thing you've ever done. You hate it, but you love it. It's going to be all those emotions tied into one. And I would never do it again, but I have some of the best memories. They say it's the most fun you'll never want to have again in your military career, but you will make some of the best friends of your life at basic training, and some of the best memories. I still talk from friends from basic training to this day, and it's been over a year. So those are some things that will help you succeed at basic training prior to going, and what you need to know before you go to basic training. Any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up in the comment section below. Also hit me up on my Instagram, pwilson35, and I will see y'all in the next video.